Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, we're going to have some pretty decent weather, it looks like, here in the next couple of days. Today, a little iffy, maybe 40 degrees, but they're talking about mid-50s for the next, after today, so for the next couple of days. So that'll be a nice warm-up, but really cold weather is coming in again. Another Arctic polar vortex, end of all humanity, worst winter ever. Actually not, just another cold spell snap that's coming through. So number one, I want to make you think about it and make you think about what you need to do, because we just had one and it's going to be the Midwest and the South and the East, a lot of the same places. Were you ready last time? Well, you should probably get ready this time. It looks like that the temperatures are going to be less. In my area, right now, there's no prediction for any precipitation, but it does look like that the temperatures are going to be quite a bit colder. Single digits, maybe zero, some places negative, below zero, depending on where you live. So take appropriate precautions. It looks like it's going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in that neighborhood. Also, during that same time is when the inauguration of Donald Trump is going to happen. And it's been a crazy roller coaster ride since he was elected. And it's been a crazy roller coaster ride since the first of the year. And we're just in the first of the year, a couple of weeks, really. Yesterday, one of the White House press people, they're saying their farewells, their goodbyes. We did a great job. We were the best administration ever. The most honest administration ever. But anyways, one of the spokespersons, people, whatever, I don't know the guy's name. I don't know. I'll show you a video here in a second. He got up and, it's been great working with you. And if I don't get back up here again before, we're done, I just want to say thank you, that kind of stuff. But he says something that's got the internet kind of a buzz. He says, unless there's another event that happens, which, we've seen that those kind of things have been going on, is what he says.
My last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past year.
You can tell is this anything? That's my first question. What's your opinion? There's quite a few people on the internet, on Twitter and stuff, that are quite concerned that he is letting the cat out of the bag, that there's something planned over the next 7 days or so. It could be just unless something else happens. It's been crazy here lately. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just to get everyone afraid, which is always part of their plan. But it is interesting that he says this, and that we're coming up on this big changing of the guard. And with everything that's happened, is it possible that we could see some type of false flag attack, some type of terrorist attack, something go on? We also, at the same time, like I just mentioned, have a pretty cold front coming through for a good portion of the United States. We're still dealing with the massive fires in California, the H5N1, all kinds of stuff going on. There's constant threats of terrorism. Donald Trump's wanting to take over Canada and Greenland and half of the Western Hemisphere kind of thing. And then him coming into office. And I guess the question is there still enough time for something else to happen? And could it be that devastating? I think the simple answer is obviously yes. There's obviously time and the possibility that something could happen over the next few days to disrupt things. I don't think at this point, it would have to be quite large, I think, to stop the inauguration. So I don't think it's something that would put a halt to the inauguration, but to just disrupt things, to cause people to be afraid and panic, to cause the whole inauguration to not go off as is planned. That in itself looks to be is going to be quite the impressive lineup just about everyone, major business owners, billionaires, people from all over the world. It's almost like they're going to watch the next king be crowned. I don't know, religious leaders, all sorts of people are going to be there to watch this inauguration. And that in itself, I mean, you could make an argument both ways. You could make an argument that that's an amazing thing. It shows the popularity. It shows that the world is sick and tired of the far left globalist Marxist ideology, and that Trump represents this snapping back to conservative, traditional, normal ways, and that a lot of people are excited about that. It could also mean, like I said, jokingly, that it is kind of like a king being inaugurated or crowned, and that people are lining up for that. I don't know. We're not going to know, at least for a few days, but it does start to get that feel. And with this thinly veiled kind of letting the cat out of the bag, or this statement from the White House, I think there's a possibility, and I think it's something that we should be on guard. I don't know if any of you are considering going to the inauguration. Probably not, but there may be a couple. If that's the case, of course, be cautious and be on guard. But for the rest of us, I think we're beyond that point of, okay, well, this is happening, we should probably be on guard and stay alert. No, we should just be that way. That should just be normal life. It's kind of like prepping in general, stocking up on food. It should just be normal for you now, that when you go to the store and you're buying groceries, and you decide this time we're going to pick up a few cases of this, and the next time we're going to pick up some of this, and we're going to add that it's just a normal habit, normal function, and keeping your head on a swivel, your situational awareness, paying attention to events that's going on, and trying to do a quick analysis of is this real? If it is, or if there's a real threat, how does that threat, affect me? What do I need to be doing? What's going on in my area, my AO, so that I can, keep alert. Anything that's out of the ordinary, anything that's, changing. If stuff does change, how do I need to adjust my plans or my daily routine? That really should just be normal for everyone. And I know that some of you that comes just natural, maybe your past career, it's just normal for you to do that. And then the rest of you, it's not. You're having to train yourself, because maybe you weren't trained to do that. So you're having to tell yourself, you need to be doing that. Not to pick on anyone, but in my experience, the average woman isn't really good at this. They go to the grocery store or wherever, and they're walking in with their head in their phone, or they're not paying attention to their surroundings. I think that's one of the reasons why women tend to be much higher percentage of victims of crimes, because they're it's not just that they may not be as strong as the men, it's that they're not paying attention to what's going on. And so I want to encourage that, because there's just so much hatred out there right now. Even if it's not some organized, coordinated attack, it could just simply be individuals that are filled with hate, demonic type people that, see all of this change and are, want to lash out. They could lash out at you. Or people around you. And I'm not saying these things to cause you to be afraid. It's just common sense. It's the world that we live in, and it's common sense. We once had a world where it was not safe for women to go out. That's why women had to get married or had to have a covering over them. And I'm not talking about a blanket. Most of you know what I mean. They had to have a protector. It's quite possible it could get to that way again, and it is that way in a lot of places already. So it's not something that we should just live in fear that these events could be happening or could happen around the next corner, because, you know, that is true. We don't want to live in fear of it, though. We want to be prepared and be ready for it, and adjust our lifestyle so that we can be ready for these things as they happen. So, you know, I don't want any of you to be panicked, you know, going out to the grocery store in this cold, sweaty fear of what may happen. Be ready, you know, stay armed, pack heat, go out in groups if you think it's necessary, but stay alert, and we should always be doing that. We should be, prepping should no longer be something that we're just kind of doing, right? It should be a normal part of our life. It should be our lifestyle, being prepared, being self-sufficient, and we should live in a state of readiness, because I think the times that we live in demand that. And if you're doing that, you're not living in fear. You're not living in this panic. It's actually quite calm, because you know, you're confident that you've gotten ready. You stocked up on things. You're physically ready for whatever threats and dangers you may face. You're mentally, you're spiritually ready. Your family, and even though you may not be 100% ready in everything, you are pushing towards that goal constantly. So really, we should be living in a state of readiness. So whatever the White House has planned for, or Iran or anyone else, we're ready for it. And that's just how we should live. Because I think over the next few years, I think it's almost like we're shifting into the next gear. Yes, the last 4 or 5 years has been crazy. I think we're going into a new phase, a new era. Even Donald Trump himself has alluded to that, maybe for different reasons, but still. So just be ready, because just the last couple of weeks, you know, we're 15 days or whatever into January, and it's already been crazy. So be ready for whatever else we may face. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.